Right, thank you, Kerry. Thanks for coming in. Start me off, give a brief summary of your education. What have you done in your education?
From 1997 to 2004, I was at Asminport Catholic High School.
Okay.
Did 9 GCSEs.
Okay.
Got ACC grades. From 2002, I started my A-levels, and then by 2004 I gained 2 A-levels in English and psychology. And I went on to Liverpool Hope University.
Okay.
Started studying a business and education degree. I did that for 2 years.
Okay.
And then I moved to University of Chester.
Okay.
Dropped the education side of the degree because I didn't really want to continue.
You didn't enjoy it, or?
Not that I didn't enjoy it. I had a bit of experience doing the education side. It went into schools and things like that, but
it's not for you.
No.
It's a vocation more than anything, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you wouldn't be a teacher then?
Well, after I had kids, I did seriously consider it, but the only reason I considered it was because it would have fitted in with my children.
Right.
More.
But you don't see that as a way to go?
No.
Okay.
I've learned through doing it, gaining experience in different areas, that that's not where my passion lies and where I want to be.
Okay, fine. So you dropped the education, so
Yeah.
what are you doing? How did you move on from there?
I just continued with the business studies side of things.
So it's just a business studies degree you do it?
Yeah.
Okay. And where are you up to on that?
I'm currently going into my 3rd year, starting September.
Okay. Projected results this year?
Haven't got them yet. They'll be due in July.
In July. Realistically, what are you hoping for?
From what I've got already, first and 2-1s are the only thing I've got so far. So
First and 2-1?
Yeah.
That's good.
Ideally I'd love a first.
Yeah, okay.
But that's just obvious.
Yeah, you've got to set your goals high, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay then. So what stage did you decide you were going to do a business studies degree?
Me A-levels.
At A-level?
Yeah.
So what was it that you made you think, I'm going to do a business study degree?
In all honesty, it was the one course that I thought, if I do this career-wise,
Yeah.
you can go anywhere with it. There's so many options to do from doing a business degree, and I knew I didn't want to take on a vocational course and do a course that had a certain job at the end of it, because I just wasn't aware at that time in my life what I wanted to be. So I thought doing something like business studies would give me options in all different careers.
Okay, so what options were you thinking? Right, I get qualified, I've got my degree. What was the end goal? What were you trying to think? And I'm going to be...
No, now I know. Back then I had no idea. I thought I wanted to be some kind of businesswoman, being some kind of maybe run my own business, but I didn't have a clue what business.
Okay.
Just kind of silly. I like the idea of being in business.
As your own boss?
Yeah, as
Okay.
my own boss. But now that's not as important to me.
So what's important to you now then?
Now is getting more qualified in HR.
Okay, so you found that HR is your passion?
Yeah.
So how did you come across HR?
I started doing it at university, enjoyed the subject, was getting good grades in the subject, and then came to work at Noble.
Yeah.
In all honesty, I had no real idea of what HR included, because what you do at university isn't even a pinch really on, the working HR practices.
Okay.
You get some idea of it, obviously, and the rules and things like that a bit, but you don't really get to see work in HR.
Okay.
And then coming here to Noble's made me realise how interested in it I am and how much I want to develop it more.
So what was the initial thing at university? I want to do HR, what was it?
Something about it just interests me, maybe the intrigue. Probably doing things like disciplinaries and stuff like that, it might be a bit weird, but that's what I just like the idea of solving problems that weren't easy to solve.
Okay.
There wasn't straightforward answers. I like the idea of coming in and being the one that solves them problems.
So that was your idea at university?
Yeah.
So what's Noble HR taught you then? You come into the
They're
real
not
world.
that easy.
In what way then? What's the... You've talked about the theory, that grabbed your attention, you've come on, you've done some practical. What's the difference?
The theory is just the skim, the top of the iceberg really. There's so
Okay.
much more underneath that you don't get to see, and then coming to somewhere like this has made me realise that I like the idea of going into and investigating things and digging deeper and, in a way, being nosy. You know, getting in and solving a problem that needs to be solved.
Okay.
And just digging a little bit deeper.
Yeah. So it's not put you off in any way then?
Not at all. If anything, it's made me want it more.
Okay. So who do you think, now you've had this experience, the tasting, what kind of organisation do you want to work for? Big, small?
Ideally, I mean, I've never had the experience of going into an organisation, like a big organisation.
Right.
But from what I think of it, I'd prefer to be on the outside consulting in like this is.
Consultant then?
Yeah.
Okay. So that leads me on then. So your work experience, obviously you're at Noble HR. What are you doing then?
At the moment, I'm bringing together the starts of investigation reports so that the directors can obviously finish them off. I've been writing up case notes for different hearings,
Okay.
putting together newsletters, articles in the areas of HR. Been attending seminars on employment law.
Okay.
Also answering phones and making referrals for recruitment doctor sides of the business.
Okay.
Been to some of the recruitment doctor workshops, and again that's something I found really interesting and really useful.
Okay.
Doing little bits of general admin as well.
Okay.
But mostly, you know, I've been getting a grasp of what HR entails in this kind of
Okay.
environment.
What's been your biggest challenge since you've been working at Noble then?
Putting together a handbook.
Okay, what was so challenging about that?
I think it's been a massive learning curve for me because I've been going through it and thinking, oh, I'll do it this way, I'll do it this way. Even when someone said, just try this way, I wanted to do it that way because I started it and I wanted to tackle it, and it's been great to, I've actually learnt myself sometimes doing it the easy way is the way forward, and
Okay.
and now I feel like when I started it, it was doing okay, but it needed a lot of corrections and stuff. Now going through doing them for different companies, it's got to the point where they need some amendments still once I'm finished with them.
Okay.
But now I'm doing it pretty much. I
Okay.
feel like I could do it
Sure.
first time this time. Like I've accomplished writing a handbook.
Okay.
So it's not as easy as it sounds.
No. Okay. Have you considered any other careers?
As I said before, I did consider teaching.
Okay.
Nothing. I haven't considered other careers. The only other things I'm interested in is accounting and law. Law is brought into HR, so that's why the HR interests me, because I get to do law in it as well.
Okay.
Accounting, it interests me, but I don't think it interests me enough to do it on a daily basis.
Okay, that's fine. Okay. Microsoft Office.
Yes.
How would you describe your skill level if you had a sliding scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being you sat next door to Bill Gates at Microsoft and 1 being you're a bit of a muppet? Where would you sit on that?
Before I came to Noble, I would have put myself as about an 8. Having learned that I'm not an 8, on new,
What are you then?
updated versions, I'd probably say about a 5. I'm adequate. I can write on these worksheets and on a daily basis and learning new things.
Okay.
But I'm willing to learn more, and so I can get myself up to an 8 or a 9.
So
That's not a problem.
Microsoft Word. Competent.
Yes.
Excel.
I'd say I'm competent in all areas of Microsoft Word.
PowerPoint.
Yes, I use PowerPoint for university, so
Okay.
that's probably one thing I can use.
Okay.
Slightly probably more competent on that. Outlook, that's fine. Word was the most challenging, and I suppose Excel. I'm okay until you ask me to do calculations, but again, that's something that I can easily,
Okay.
maybe not easily, but I can.
Okay. What would you say has been your most interesting job or assignment, either university or work placement?
My most interesting thing from university has been coming on my work placement. It's really shown me what a future career could look like and how my future career could be mapped out if I go down this route. So I'd say that.
Good. Okay. How do you behave when you're under pressure?
I think well, unless, I'd say I cope quite well under pressure. If it's in a work environment and there's no one around me, problem situations I can thrive under. Sometimes if I'm talking in groups I can become a bit more nervous, but I think as well through time that's something that I'll get with more learning and more use of speaking in front of people. I'm sure practice makes perfect.
So how would I know when you're under pressure then in an office environment? How would I know Kelly's under pressure today?
I probably wouldn't speak to someone, I'd just get on with it.
Okay.
I wouldn't be as jokey and as I wouldn't be less friendly, I'd just want to get on with it and put my head to it and try and tackle the problem.
So when you're working in a team, obviously most places have teams, what do you think you bring to a team environment?
I can motivate people. I used to play a lot of team sports. I found through playing team sports, it's taught me how to work in teams. I'm a good motivator. I can bring people together and make them work well. I like to. Sometimes I like to delegate people without being bossy. But if people are struggling and don't know what to do, I like to delegate them. And I find parenting has helped me with that stuff because I'm delegated all the time.
Okay. What would you say is the biggest challenge you've ever had to overcome?
I'm not really sure. Probably going back to uni.
Okay.
Because I took 4 years out and I had to go back to uni and sit with people that were younger than me, and that was probably tough. Plus getting back into the swing of studying after 4 years out, you forget how to write essays and take exams, and it was basically teaching myself how to do all that again.
Okay. What motivates you?
If I'm interested in a job, that will motivate me. If I'm interested in the outcome, and that will motivate me. Plus having children at home and a husband at home, that motivates me to get up and want to do stuff for them, so they can have a better life as well.
So you're motivated when the job's interesting?
Yes.
What if you've got a job that's not interesting? Because then, let's face it, all jobs, every now and again, you go, God, why have I got to do that? How do you get yourself up to do that?
Well, you've got to motivate yourself. It's part of the job, not the swings and roundabouts of everything, isn't there?
Yeah, okay. So, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Having done my IPD, working in HR.
Okay, so you're going to do your IPD as well?
Yes.
When are you going to do that?
I was hoping to do it in September along with my 3rd year, but I'm currently seeing whether that is an option.
Work to take on.
Yes, it is. I've spoke to people and they think that the people I've spoke to I trust, and they've said that it's a possibility and they think I'll be able to do it.
Okay.
But again, I don't want to take too much on because of the balance between work and home life.
Absolutely.
So if I don't do it in September, October, I'll be doing it as soon as I finish my course. But again, that's that's a hope. That's something I hope to do. But near the time I'll have to see.
Okay. So finally, why should someone offer you a job in HR?
Because I'm keen, enthusiastic, interested in the area. I feel passionate about the area. I think I've got a lot of skills that I can bring to HR.
Yeah.
I can multitask, I can work in teams, and I think that someone would benefit from me being at their company.
Okay, thank you, Kelly.